Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And as we know, the police are not your friends. We know this because for many years, and this has all come out, the police were assisting a certain community in the complete abuse, sexually, of children for many years. Thousands upon thousands upon thousands of children. The official figure is somewhere in the region of 15,000 children were abused by this certain community. That's the official figure, so you know it is undoubtedly much higher. And the police not only knew about it, but connived with it and handed the victims back to the people who were harming them. That's how evil the police are. So it should come as no surprise whatsoever when a policeman has now finally been charged with doing the same thing. This time with a 13-year-old girl and 12 other counts with other children. That's the least of his problems. Of course, he too comes from a certain community. So, yeah, we're not surprised. But let's have a look at this report. So, Met police officer charged with having illicit relations with schoolgirl and 12 other crimes against children. So, a serving member of London's Metropolitan Police has been charged with allegedly having activity with an underage girl and 12 other crimes against children, including taking indecent images. PC Hussain Shahab, an officer assigned to the North Area Command Unit of the Met in Enfield in London, was charged with a total of 13 crimes against children on Tuesday after being arrested in July of last year. The police officer has since been suspended on duty by the Met's Directorate of Professional Standards. Now, he will have been paid for that entire time. And if he is found guilty, if he goes to court and is found guilty, he'll be allowed to keep that money. I think he should have to be, that money should have to be repaid from the moment he was charged until the moment he is no longer receiving it. All that money he was given should be repaid. That's not instead of everything else he gets. That's on top of everything else he gets. He has been charged with 4 counts of SA with an underage girl who was between the ages of 13 and 15-year-old during the time of the attacks. Shahab has also been accused of 5 counts of producing indecent images of very young people, as well as taking indecent images of very young people, spreading and encouraging the distribution of indecent images of very young people, and engaging in spicy communications with a child, LBC reported. The offences are all alleged to have occurred between 2019 and 2021, when he was still a serving member of the police force that is tasked with keeping the British capital safe from people like him. And this is why you can't trust the police, because they're all scum. Commenting on the charges, the head of the North Area Command Unit, DCS Caroline Haynes, said, "We recognise that this news will cause concern within the community and we are fully engaged with our local partners throughout this investigation." Now, I bet other policemen knew about this, but I bet they didn't come forward. I bet this has come from the victims or the victims' families. There's no way a policeman would dob another policeman in it. We know this. The Met has announced a comprehensive review of its standards. Oh, again, another one. Another comprehensive review. How many comprehensive reviews of your standards do you need? Because you seem to be having them almost weekly. Are you that bad that 15, 16, 20, 100 reviews later, and this is still happening? You're still employing child R's? We would encourage anyone who is concerned about the actions of any of our officers to report them to us immediately. Well, I don't think you've got enough paper, love, because every single one of them needs reporting, because not one of them ever comes forward to say that this is happening or that is happening or whistle blows, so every single one of them is guilty of the same crime. But who is absolutely surprised? Who can take their hat off and go, my God, it's no different from anything else. So a couple of the comments here. Think of Rotherham and all those other towns where children were passed around like pieces of meat as the peelers looked the other way, and almost certainly going on in London's stand too, probably on a much bigger scale. So if he was sampling the goods, Who is he facilitating and covering for? And how many others are involved? And I think that is absolutely spot on. And someone else has written here, note the name. This type of offence is in their genes, and we still let them in. Yeah, it is an absolute disgrace, and I'm fed up with it. But we know that 90% of these things occur within a very tiny community in this country. We all know who the community is. Why is this tiny community so enamoured to have this kind of relationship with children? They really like children. And the thing is, it's very an ist problem, because predominantly they go for white children. I hope when he's found guilty, I hope he isn't put into some, soft little prison. I would like him to go into a hard prison in the general community and have everyone know exactly what he's done. I give him a week. Anyway, I shall come up. Can anyone say that they're truly surprised? You have corrupt officers, perverted officers, indecent officers in an organisation that is so appallingly bad that it finds itself in special measures. This is years of inept leadership that's fostered an atmosphere of laissez-faire, anything goes attitudes by senior officers that then drifts down to junior officers. And ultimately, it makes the police the most lawless organisation in London. They're charged with keeping people safe, and yet they are one of the biggest threats to people. It needs to be completely changed, root and branch. And every officer, without fail, must be thoroughly investigated and thoroughly vetted. We cannot have this continuing. And yet it continues so many times. I'm making videos along these lines almost weekly about the corrupt and the bent officers and their filth, their inhumanity sometimes. It's got to stop. Anyway, thank you for listening. If you like what you hear and see on the channel, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Ring the bell for notifications of future output. Leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, don't trust the police, and goodbye.